on our way to Ritigala. It's a national park, reserve, and with some ancient monasteries at the top of the mountain. There will be literally like the whole road will be filled with butterflies.
Aww.
And it's just very, very diverse. Like there's a lot of butterflies around here, which is true. I've heard this before, where there are areas where they breed, and so we arrived at the base of Ritigala to climb up and see the monastery, which dates to I think 200 BC or around that. So they say, but there's very little information on this place. It was hard to find. Alex thinks that there might have been also some remnants of a fort, but much of it isn't excavated, so we don't know too much except that there's a monastery. Anyway, we're gonna check it out. So, from what I've been able to read, it's mostly based off the great chronicle of the country, the Mahawamsa, which says that at some point, well, there was a story about some king a prince who was born, who was prophesied to kill his uncles, who were at the time in charge of the country, and so there was a princess, and then she was prophesied to have a son who would kill his uncles. And so what the uncles did was they locked her up, but then of course some dude snuck up the window and was overcome with desire, so he slept with the princess, and of course a son was born. And the story goes that the princess swapped the male son out for the daughter of a cow farmer.
Oh, okay.
And the son was like raised in the art of kingship by some sage, and over the course of several campaigns he led his men to eventual victory and then became king.
Wow, okay. So there's a lot more to the story of Ritigala.
Yeah.
But the monastery we don't know much about. This is just the earliest.
So,
and what is this? I mean, this is
supposed to be a pond.
Right. So there was a pond. Would it have been a place where people were bathing?
This is a lot of work.
There's a lot of work. I mean, this looks massive. Is there not like a city here?
This is only one small part of the mountain itself. This is probably like the biggest archaeological area, but there are, from what I have gathered over the years, little places still in the jungle itself.
Right.
But the jungle is also not accessible because it's a wildlife conservation reserve, a wildlife reserve.
Maybe further up the mountain where I know the monastery is. I thought there'd be more grandiose works, but this is very interesting.
Yeah.
These steps.
Was this like a public bath?
Yeah, basically like this would have been a pond.
Yeah.
And this would have been where people bathed and just chilled, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Also, mostly for monks. There would have been quite a large population of monks on here. And there are still forest monks actually on the top of this mountain. You're not allowed to go up there. And these are monks that live in cave shelters still. And every week they come down for donations for food. And then they go back up. They're very much forest hermits. So that tradition is still alive.
The forest is really just taken over.
Each of these had to be hand carved. Like, this thing must be what? 2.5 to 3 meters
Yep.
long, huh?
Probably about 15, 20 kilos. Wow.
like,
significance of this
it's the
circle.
perfect combination of like forest, and then you have really just ruins
Yeah.
in the middle of it all.
Reminds me a little bit of when I traveled to Calakmul in southern Mexico many years
That's what I
ago.
was saying. This reminds me very much of like Mesoamerican archaeology a little bit.
We have the remains of some structure. I don't know what it is, not much context.
Most likely monastic ruins. They did say that there is a hospital somewhere. There used to be a hospital up here.
Right.
So
And usually they determine that because they find
some
stuff.
some implements.
Yeah.
That,
Chinese
some
medicine too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. But if it is dating to 200
What?
BC, no, they did it. Polonnaruwa.
Chinese medicine.
They found Chinese medicine and pots in the hospital,
Oh, that could be, yeah.
but maybe not at this period.
I wouldn't be able to say with any certainty, but over there's something as well. Huh?
Yeah, if it does date to around 200 BC, it's like some of the earlier Buddhist.
Well, the thing is, it was also built on much later as well.
Right. Ceramics. Quite thick stuff. Yeah,
What else
probably
do we
roof
have?
tiles mostly. It's very thick, hey?
Yeah, exactly. Most likely when they cleared this area, they just piled everything that they found here.
A little bit of quartz flakes, but that's probably just a rock. Oh, and you can see some pottery in the ground.
This is possibly black and red ware.
Yep, just heavily worn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could be. Normally, like the majority of Sri Lankan pottery is black and red, what they call black and red ware. So it's red on the outside and black on the inside. And you find quite a lot of it from the early historic period. So that's like from even from the proto-historic period. So some for like from it started in like 600 BC and then went up to like 580 or something, just roughly.
Oh, okay. And here's some Sri Lankan bullet ants, apparently. So I think they're called bullet ants because it feels like you've been shot
It just hurts for like.
if you get
No,
bitten.
you can just step. They don't. They're not aggressive. Only
Yeah,
if
you won't-
step on them.
It's only the monkeys you have to watch out for. So come, just step over. The monkeys will get you if you've got food out. Okay, Jantagara. And what do we have here? Two mating stink bugs or whatever they are. Bit of nature, bit of history. Got it all.
This might be the hospital. I'm not sure. They need some information boards.
They do.
The incredible thing is that it's all made out of stone. I haven't seen any brick structures. Well, a little bit of brick, but not much else. But mostly stone.
So why would they have picked Ritigala to do this? It's like the most prominent.
It's the most prominent hill in the area. It's also it's a little bit like Sigiri in which that it rises out of the landscape very suddenly. There's more of a relation to myths like the Ramayana, where when Rama invaded Lanka, the kingdom of Ravana, after the battles, he had asked. First, it's when Hanuman, the monkey god, came over looking for where Sita was. Ritigala is the place where local legends say that he jumped from Ritigala back to India.
Oh, okay.
And when after the battles between Ravana's forces and Rama's forces, it said that Rama sent Hanuman to the Himalayas, and he basically tried to get a lot of herbs to heal the soldiers, but then like they were all like disappearing or something. So then what he did was he just ripped out a huge chunk of the Himalayas and then flew back across to Lanka, and then I think some of it fell here.
Plopped it down here,
He
right?
plopped it down here. I'm not sure if he plopped the whole thing back down or if like chunks of it fell here in Ritigala, and that's
okay.
also why There's no actual botanical evidence for this, but they say that, you know, you can find like special herbs up here on this mountain.
Ah,
So
yeah,
then they think
okay.
that, you know, it's part of that.
I did read that there's a herb that it's supposed to give you long life on top of the mountain, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something along
Let's
those
find it.
lines.
Let's just start
Let's
experimenting.
find it. Yeah, let's just eat stuff. Here you go, Gene.
yeah.
Like, have some of this.
Some red berries. What could go wrong?
Oh, but that's a beautiful. Look at
That is nice. Look at that. Stunning.
The ancient chronicles also say on the top of this hill there was a pond in which a leech like vomited gold or something, and like a jeweled throne or some sort of jeweled ornament, I remember reading. But these have yet to be found.
Okay.
Maybe today.
Maybe we get rich.
Find a couple of leeches.
Find a gold
milk them
leech.
for gold.
Find the fountain of youth. Something off the track.
Here it is. Pipeline.
Pipeline. Modern pipeline.
Modern pipeline.
Yeah, some structure, some stairs. Up to a platform. Padnaharagara 3. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like elsewhere, I'd imagine there would have been wooden structures, hey, on top of these stone platforms.
Maybe interlocking pieces even or something, I don't know.
Yeah. Gimanhala 2. So yeah, this is the second stone circle that we've seen. I don't know what the significance of them is.
No idea.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think this is just... Oh, it looks like there'd be a waterfall there occasionally. Oh, that's interesting. There's all these holes carved into the rock there. The third stone circle.
This one is different. This
Yeah,
one seems
it's
to have been some
different.
kind of
Like rounded stone here.
I can sit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot, hey. It's like a thin piece here, I can see. Oh. So yeah.
soil formation on these mountains is also quite rapid, so
Yeah, and
whatever is down here is pretty deep.
that's it. You know, and I think that's the tree roots are pushing stuff up to the surface, and bit of quartz. Yeah, there's quite a few little quartz flakes, hey?
Can't tell if it's tools though.
No. Yeah, quartz is notoriously hard to tell.
Yeah.
Because it naturally fractures, so yeah,
Well,
we don't
some
know.
actually at the excavation in Cantarore, you could tell that they were blade tools. They could see like a little bit of what is it, retouch as well?
Right.
Yeah.
So just
This
for
is it, guys.
Welcome to my sacrificial platform.
oh,
I'm glad to have brought you here. But it's interesting to see the difference between a place like this and Anuradhapura, where there's not many decorations here on the walls, you know?
and at Anuradhapura there's
In many of the walls in
Motifs everywhere.
Anuradhapura, there's always motifs. Also, like you saw in Polonara with the lions and the Viagra, the makaras and all these things, these protective deities. here, it's really just sort of
Plain.
plain. There is a stone here which might be some sort of daisy, but
Bye.
I don't see any marking.
No.
Oh no, wait.
Could be worn off
There,
a bit.
you see?
Yep. There was something.
Really faint. It's an inscription.
Right.
A warning.
There are local myths about that this mountain is the home of, they call them Yakshas or Yakkas.
Oh, they're like the demons. Right?
They're considered demons, but also they're just sort of spirits. And there's been many stories about where people have camped here and things, and they've been visited by one. One of them goes where old man from the village was camping out here, and he was at his fire, and a yaksha disguised as a man came and offered him a packet of rice and curry, and he said, "You need to be gone before morning, and don't take anything with you, because if you do, that'll be quite bad for you." And the man was initially very terrified. The yaksha said, "Eat as much as you want, but afterwards you have to leave." And yeah, the man was so scared that he couldn't really eat at first, but then he ate, and then he got out of here.
Okay.
But yeah, very much so that there's the guardians of this place saying not to take anything.
All right.
And
Well, goes without saying, no looting, kids,
no looting.
from the archaeological sites, or the yakshas will get you here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as a kid, we were always told in the forest that if you go in there, the Yakkas will get you.
Yeah, look at that.
Size of this.
This is what scientists would call one big douche.
Oh, so this must be used by people today.
Yeah.
They've just stumbled across some oil lamps.
Here, you see, people come and they light oil lamps and they leave, and they also tie white string. Also, sometimes with the, like with some of these.
Is this for prayers?
This is for prayers and for good luck. You see, there's a coin wrapped in each of these white cloths. If I'm not mistaken, that also represents some sort of an agreement with spirits, where to keep people safe, they will put a coin, they wrap it, and then they hope to achieve something, kind of.
We have some more. And a little red cloth tied to the tree. But yes, these are for prayers, and you can see the coin within the cloth here. So local people are coming up here to say prayers. This beautiful tree, I get it. It's very majestic. It drew us over off the path to have a look.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wind.
Oh, it's wind.
Wind in the trees.
So yeah, the stone path has ended, and we're walking along a sort of dirt path now. So I don't know if that means they just haven't excavated the rest of the stone path, or that's it. But hopefully this leads somewhere and we don't get lost. But I assume there's more to this, hey?
Yeah, you see already up front cut stone.
Oh, yep, okay. This is the end. That's it. Danger. Okay. Should we have a look at this little clearing? It looks nice.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe that is the end of the stone pass.
Yeah.
And that last sort of building would have been part of the monastic complex. But the last one, very fascinating place.
I'm sure it took us less than
Yep.
an hour, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not that far from the base. Maybe 1.5 kilometers.
40 minutes.
40 minutes?
40 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, it's leisurely. I mean, it's a bit hot, but not really. Maybe sweaty, if anything. We are in the wet season, so it's a bit humid.
Oh, Jesus, sorry.
Okay. Yep. There we go.
What?
It's a
What?
Sasha's afraid of the insects, so we'll bleep that out. But anyway, what a lovely place, Ritigala. Have you got any closing remarks, Alex, for the site? What were your impressions?
It's a beautiful place, and I think one of the nice things about it is that you have very much a mixture of archaeology and nature. There's much more in here. This is a huge mountain, and it goes up almost 700 meters.
Wow.
So
So we're not even close to
halfway.
yeah, we're not close to
Maybe-
the summit.
Yeah, nowhere near. But this is also, you have to respect that it's a wildlife reserve.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can see why. It's beautiful and it's kept intact. It's always good. And I don't know, it's always rare to find places like this
Yeah.
where you have really, I think, some of the most monumental architecture I've seen in Sri Lanka itself, and surrounded by nature.
Yeah, see this carved stone, that could be some kind of water management system, like a gutter or something. You can see a bit better here. But this is just sort of lying by the side of the path, or where the path's already ended. So look, there's so much more that could be excavated here. Like, I mean, just past this last building, I can see bits of pottery in the ground. I think there's more to this site, maybe more than just the monastery. Considering the myths that exist about this place and local legend. And yeah, the age of the monastery itself, the monastic complexes, 200 BC is pretty old. So, yeah. Would be nice to see more in the future. Maybe I'll be back